So Ryan Kinel made some comments in his review for the Batman. Now I'm not going to show you the full clip, but I am going to show you what Ryan Kinel said. So a lot of people are calling Ryan Kinel racist. A lot of people are calling him, they think he's a white supremacist. Some people have even sent death messages, and I've seen them on Twitter. Now I'll tell you this right now. I don't like Ryan Kinel. I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to react to this video, but I do not like Ryan Kinel. And I do not like Geeks and Gamers. I do not like them. And I'll admit, Ryan Kindle's the most annoying out of all of them because it seems like all he does, like, I'm not gonna lie, he scares me because he literally the entire and almost all his videos, he'll like look directly at the camera without blinking, and he'll be like, "These SJWs, these virtue signaling." But I'm gonna let him defend himself. So I'm gonna react to his video a little bit, but I do want to give you context. A lot of people are sending death threats. Now, before I get into that, I do want to say anyone who sends death threats is a complete you have to be a special kind of loser to send death threats to someone, especially when it's just a movie. Like the reality is, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. So I don't get why people have to make it so like about life and death. But let's actually get into what Ryan Kinnell said. So there's this clip right here. There's this clip right here. And I think at this minute he plays. I skipped this entire beginning part because it was going to take a little too long. He does kind of give you a little start off as to what happened, but we're going to show you the clip that he does play here. Someone did send him a death threat, and I read them. You can find them on Twitter, and then we'll see Ryan Kinnell's response because I did see a little bit. I haven't seen the entire video, but I did see part of it. So let's go.
There were only a couple good people in this movie. You had Bruce Wayne, Batman, and you had Alfred. Those are the only two good white people. The rest of the three other major players that I would consider like overall like moral good people were, you had Jim Gordon, who's black in this. You had Catwoman, who's not white in this. And then you had the mayor, who's a black woman. Again, very much on the nose for current day.
I'll say this before he gets into what he says. I don't think what he said in this clip was any controversial. Now, I'll admit, and even out of context, I'll admit this doesn't sound racist. It seems like he's just pointing out their skin. However, he's gonna say it in a bit. You're gonna hear him, but he says he was pointing out his problems of this movie were virtue signal. And look, I've already seen the movie. There is a scene. Now, I'm not. This isn't a spoiler. I'm gonna be as vague as I can. But there's a scene where Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman says Gotham is riddled with white privilege. Now, Ryan Kinnell, a lot of these geeks and gamers types, they don't know what people mean when they say white privilege. They don't know what they mean, because they're straight white males. That doesn't diminish them, that doesn't do anything, but they don't really have context as to what that means. Imagine the point of view of Catwoman's characters, because Catwoman's character, she has a rough, I don't want to spoil, but she has a rough past and all that. And part of her past leads her to hate powerful men. And in Gotham, most of the powerful men happen to be straight white males who had the privilege of being millionaires or billionaires, actually. Bruce Wayne's part of that white privilege. Bruce Wayne's all that. And that's just her perspective. But if you watch the movie, they never make a clear message saying that white privilege is a problem in Gotham. They never say that. All they're doing is that Catwoman's perspective, she believes there is a white privilege kind of mindset. They don't say that is what's happening. There is a corruption problem in Gotham. They don't say it's a white problem. They say it's a corruption problem in Gotham. And the movie completely explores that. And Catwoman just happens to it was literally just a quick scene where she just says white problem, so or white privilege, I mean, but oh well. Let's continue with Ryan Reynolds. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Did not like that.
Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How will I ever recover from this? And so obviously what I'm talking about in this was a section where I talked about identity politics in this movie. No mention of the fact that I liked the movie. No mention of the fact that
well, that's kind of irrelevant when you're bringing up race into this. This movie had no identity politics. Maybe you could say it's a story about humanity with corruption, because corruption is a big problem, with power. But it really wasn't anything about, oh, white people are lesser. It's not. It's not. All right, let's continue.
That I gave it an 8 out of a 10. No mention of the fact that I said I thought it was really good. Just, well, he didn't like the fact that there were more.
Because that's kind of the point of what they were trying to say. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you think about it. It is weird that you brought up race in a moment where race was not involved at all. That's just the weird part.
More good black people than good white people. Now, me talking about who I thought was a good person or shown as a good person in this movie, if you actually go watch it, it was about a small segment that I did about things that I did not like about the movie based on identity politics. One of them was a line that Catwoman says, you want to hear about that? Again, go to my actual review. I don't want to spoil that because I know people haven't even gone out to watch.
Oh, I will give him respect that he's not spoiling the movie. I'll give him that. I'll give him props that he could spoil it, but he's not. And I'll give him props for that.
Yet, but go to my review
because I
and watch it when I talk about this. And anyone with an IQ above room temperature could understand that what I'm talking about here is not simply, well, there were more good black people than good white people, so I didn't like it. It was talking about the fact that there were every other white.
I don't think that's what they were trying to say. The clip that they got was just you saying, you know, you're like mentioning every black character. It was a little weird, but let's continue.
Every single white person in this movie was portrayed as evil. Every living white person in this movie was portrayed as
Alfred,
an evil piece of
Wayne.
garbage, except for Batman and Alfred. That's what the statement's talking about. That's
what about the kid? What about, I mean, anyone who's seen the Batman, the kid, I mean, he's just a kid. He's white. He's straight, I guess. I don't know. But he's a white kid. The movie isn't trying to put... If you watch the movie isn't saying white people are a problem. They're saying the rich people are the problem and the corruption's the problem in Gotham. And that's... The thinking is that is comic accurate. Gotham's always had a problem that the rich people are corrupted. I mean, look at Falcone. Look at Maroni. Look at Thomas Wayne. Look at all that. Come on.
What I'm trying to get across is that even though I didn't ruin the movie for me, you can't get away from that agenda in Hollywood right now. That's obvious. We all understand and know that. But what this tweet has...
Agenda? You mean the agenda of casting minorities, people in the LGBTQ plus community, women? What agenda exactly is there? Because the only agenda I see here is you not liking... And look, a lot of people are saying Ryan Kinel's racist. I actually will say this. I don't think they're racist. I don't think Geeks and Gamers are racist. I don't think any of them are racist. I think they're ignorant, and I think they need to be talked to. I think somebody really needs to one day give them information and talk to them. That I think that's something that's true. But I wouldn't call them racist because, like, for example, if you're black and you go to Ryan Kinel, I doubt he's going to hate you. I doubt it. But I do think they're ignorant, and I do think they need to be talked to, and I think they need to open their minds and understand that grifting for views, it really ain't worth it on the long run.
What this clip has spawned has been some very, very interesting things. Why don't we go through it? Should I scroll all the way down to the bottom, or should I start from the top? Let's start from the top of my bookmarks, and we'll work our way.
But look, I get it. His review was positive. He recommended people to go watch it. And I'm not saying that doesn't change anything, really. My only problem is, what was the virtue signal? What was the virtue signal? That they had black characters in it? That they had a strong female character? What was the problem? And from what it sounds like, he hates that a lot of so in the movie, they do show a lot of bad white people. You do remember who exposed them, right? It was a white guy. It was a white guy. Paul Dano, Riddler. That's a white guy. The main protagonist is a white guy, Batman. What's the problem? What? You're stretching right there.
Down.
I will say, I give him respect that he didn't title the review Batman's virtue signal. It wasn't that. It was just he slightly had that complaint. Now I still criticize that complaint. I get if he doesn't like them. Like, I literally just uploaded a video defending a Rotten Tomato critic because she was getting harassed because she didn't like the movie. So don't say it's because I mean, she likes the movie. Ryan said that he likes the movie. But this whole complaining about virtue signaling, it's always so ridiculous. But let's continue.
Shall we? Threats of violence, calls for me to be canceled. I cannot wait to see what Twitter thinks about this. Metaverse says, hey, at YouTube, how is it you say you're against bigotry, hatred, etc., whenever you've allowed obvious bigots like this to run around and say whatever absolute fake nonsense they want on your platform? Oh, man. And of course,
You notice how these Geeks and Gamers accounts, like these people who are part of Geeks and Gamers, they'll always mock SJWs, but they'll never actually try to fight back that claim. They'll just be like, I'm not sexist because I have a wife and daughter. That's what I've heard Jeremy say so many times. I'm so tired of it. But I'll admit, I don't think Ryan Kinel should be deplatformed. I don't think he should. I do think he should be on a debate with somebody who can properly talk to him about what the problem is. Tell him that this isn't virtue signaling. It's just having inclusion, because let's face it, Hollywood used to exclude minorities. They used to exclude people of LGBTQ plus, women, and minorities in general, people of color. That's what once happened in Hollywood, and now all they're doing is they're just casting them. And even in this movie, there is nothing. There is nothing. What's the problem? In this movie, there is no virtue signaling. Sure, they have a quick moment where they reference white privilege, but they say it so quickly and vague that it came off as more funny than anything when you hear it. And it's not like the movie was trying to tell you that white people are the problem. The movie was trying to tell you that Gotham's corruption came from the rich people. And a lot of those people just happen to be white, but they never even bring it up that much. It's just Catwoman quickly says it. It's not like they're emphasizing saying, oh my God, it's white people the problem. So that's why I think that criticism is a little silly.
of course, this guy at just the goat 216, geeks and gamers should all die.
And again, I said this. People, I don't care if you disagree with Ryan. I don't care, whatever. Sending him death threats is really stupid. Debunk him, debate him, do that. Speak to him. But sending death threats, that unless Ryan did something genuinely bad, he didn't do anything genuinely bad. He just said something ignorant and stupid. But the people who are saying Geeks and Gamers should all die, Ryan should die, all those. By the way, someone's gonna clip that out of context. I just realized somebody's gonna clip that out of context. But the people putting out this message, saying that they should die, I'm sorry, that is the most loser thing you can do. Debate him, debunk him, do something. Don't just say die, because look, I forgot I think it's Biggie Smalls. He said a quote. He said, "Never wish death on no one because there ain't nothing coming back from that." And I think that's true. Why would you want somebody to die, especially when it's just about Batman? Okay, but let's continue.
Now, unfortunately, we couldn't get more of these because as much as I wanted to talk about a lot of these responses, a lot of these death threats of violence, some of them have already either been deleted or Twitter's removed them, which is unfortunate. I don't report people like that because I want to react to what you're saying about me. So unfortunate to whatever happened to those tweets. I have never seen a more punchable face from.
I will say. He does have a punchable face. I'm just kidding. But even violence, I forgot to say this because I was more thinking about the death threats. The people who are calling for violence, so I don't really want to go too much about my life, but growing up, I used to fight people a lot. I used to get in a lot of fights, like physical fights. And after time, I learned, violence physically is not the way to go, because what you're essentially doing when you're really that mad that you're willing to beat somebody up is it shows you lack maturity, you lack consciousness, and you lack any form of actual debating and all that. Because at the end of the day, when you beat somebody up, what happens after? You just beat somebody up and you could potentially kill them. And that's why I'm very against violence. And I used to be someone who fought a lot. Like if you talk to any of my childhood friends, they'll tell you I used to be very aggressive. I used to fight. But after years and years, I learned that that is not the way to go. And I've not gotten in a fight in forever. So I know that has nothing to do with Ryan or anything, but it's just something that I just remember.
The Moonlight Warrior. You guys are the good guys, right? You're the good people, the SJWs, the moral ones. Got it. Does this?
Well, both Ryan and these people who are wishing death and violence, none of them are the moral good one. Look, in this world, there is no black and white. It's not black and white. Heroes. I mean, I know I don't bring up history, but remember in history, the Soviet Union helped America in World War II. Both of their combination, their powers helped defeat Nazi Germany. Um, but of course, after that, Soviet Union and America had problems. We learned that the Soviet Union were a lot much. We learned Stalin's regime was actually worse than we thought. So look, the world is not all black and white. I don't think Ryan's a bad person. I think Ryan, if you were to sit down, have a cup of coffee with him, I'm sure Ryan would be a chill, nice guy. And I think I would probably be. I'm not gonna lie to you. If me and Ryan, let's say me and Ryan just somehow found each other at a restaurant or something and we talked, I'm sure he'd be a nice guy, especially because we both love movies. He loves Batman, he loves DC, he loves Star Wars. I love all that. And I'm sure we would have a good conversation. I'm sure we would be friends. But a lot of his comments are ignorant. And I feel like so many people miss the point. Instead of actually, like these people here, they're missing the point. Instead of wishing violence, instead of sending death threats, just send them something saying, "Hey, man, this is something." And look, even me, I've made comments on them, and I'll call them losers. I'll call them pathetic, but I will never wish death upon them, and I would never attack them or even say that I would attack them. I just say, "Hey, look, they're losers. They have a loser mentality, and they're pathetic." I don't think they're bad people to begin with, because look, the reality is nobody is born bad in this world. You're taught certain bad things through circumstance in life. But nobody's ever born bad. And Ryan, I think what happens is he's just ignorant. And look, I've been ignorant in the past. You've all been ignorant. We've all done stupid things. And to me, the best way to change someone's perspective is by debating them, by actually teaching them the problems, the things that they're saying are causing harm, instead of just saying, "Oh, I want you to die." I mean, look, some people do deserve to die when they do something really, really bad. Like, let's say there's this guy who committed a genocide or something like that, or abused women or something like that. Of course, then they deserve to die. But Ryan, all he does is make ignorant videos on YouTube, debate him, debunk him, make videos like mine. Obviously, my video is not all that good, but at least what I'm doing is I'm looking at it both ways. Because look, if you watch this video, I've been very nice to Ryan. I think he says stupid things, but I'm gonna try debunking them and debating them. And the same applies with the rest of Geeks and Gamers. But anyways, let's continue.
This guy have a death wish from Sean23. And I do assume that if we were to go to a lot of these profiles, they probably have pronouns in their bio. There's about a 50% chance they have pronouns in their bio, just to be warned.
What? I completely forgot that they're. Come on. It doesn't change anything. Okay, that's probably the dumbest thing Ryan even said. Look, I'll tell you this right now. If you go to any of my social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, I think that's about it, I don't put pronouns. I'm not saying nobody should. And look, I've always believed you got to respect somebody's pronouns or respect somebody's identity in general. And look, people putting their pronouns is no different to them putting what country they're from. Like in my Twitter, I put I'm half Mexican, half Salvadorian. I'm Hispanic. I put that in my bio. It ain't no different. It's also no different to saying you're a YouTuber on your Twitter bio. That's just your identity. That's what you want people to look at you as. And if somebody wants to be seen as he, him, or she, her, or they, them, then respect that. I don't. What does that does that does? How does that discredit what they're saying? Although I'll say what they're saying is stupid, but that doesn't discredit them just because they have pronouns in their freaking bios. That's not the problem here. The problem is their actual freaking comments. You go to my bio, you see a Mexican flag. What are you gonna do about that? It ain't no different to putting what pronouns you are. Just respect somebody's pronouns.
Morris,
But yeah,
today, black people existing is, quote, on the nose. Now, that's out of context, even for what I did say in that video. And a lot of people are just going over to that video in its entirety, and saying black people in this 0 out of 10, showing that they didn't watch the video. They haven't watched any part of it. They're literally just taking what people are saying about this clip
That's even
and heading over there, which is great.
I
Thank you for the view.
I do think people took this clip way too out of context. But either way, Ryan did say ignorant, stupid things in his review. Most of the video was good. It was a good review. He gave a good review, and I respect it. And I even watched it prior to making this video because I wanted to make sure he didn't say. I don't think he said anything really, really bad. I think he said something really, really stupid, but it it still doesn't credit any of these threats at all. But let's continue.
Using the interaction, I appreciate it. This is from Barbie. And when I say we need to start jumping these people in the streets,
Oh, okay.
I guess my only response would be bring it on. I don't think you're going to like the result, but that's just a guess. You never know until you try. This motherfucker is really bitching because there were too many good black characters in the Batman. Not even what I said, not even in that clip, or also with the full context.
I'll admit that's not what he said. What he said was, what he was trying to say is he didn't like that line that they brought up, white privilege. I remember when I even first heard it, even though I laughed, the first thing I thought was, okay, one of the Geeks and Gamers members is going to make a video on that. That's yet to happen because he didn't make a video on that, but he did bring it up. But
what I'm saying is there's every single person, every single white person is portrayed as an evil, corrupt piece of garbage. Every one of them.
Yeah, but that's false. That's false. That's false. The movie wasn't trying to point out that white people are corrupted. They were saying that rich people in Gotham are corrupted. And that is comic accurate. That is accurate to all the source material. And this is from Ryan Kinel, a guy who complains. He literally a couple of weeks ago complained that Peacemaker wasn't going to the source material. And they said that Peacemaker, James Gunn, was not respecting the fans, even though, let's be honest, most people don't even freaking know who Peacemaker is. This is the same guy who says you gotta respect the source material. The Batman respected it. I've grown up with Batman my entire life. And the whole point that they make in the comics is that the rich people in Gotham are insanely corrupted. And this movie is no different to that.
That is the problem. That's what was on the nose with this. Talking about all the other characters who are good or moral by the end of the movie, that's just an example to show what I'm talking about.
I'm not going to spoil it, but there's literally a moment where they show you that Catwoman's not all perfect. That they emphasize that Catwoman's not a perfect character, and she's a black woman. Same thing. They show you that Catwoman has her flaws too.
Cancel this bitch from Quincy Brown. Micah Dark Fantasy says, I want this guy canceled. I can't take it. You need to cancel him.
I don't think Ryan should be canceled. I think somebody should debate him. I've noticed a lot of these Geeks and Gamers YouTubers will rarely actually debate actual other people who call them out. Like, for example, my friend Dane from Actual Fandom. He's a great guy. I've talked to him on Twitter. Sometimes I watch his streams live. Typically, I catch him on replay. But Dane, he's like the calmest guy ever. And there was literally a time where Jeremy uploaded a 3-minute video responding to him. So it's not like they don't know who he is. They clearly know who Dane is. Actual Fandom. He used to be Forced Adversity. Now he's Actual Fandom. And he's literally called. He's like, hey, I'll debate you. And nobody goes to debate him. I don't think Ryan should be canceled. What I think should happen is somebody debate him. Somebody properly educate him in the problems of the things that he's saying, and actually debate him and try to teach him, the better ways, because I think that's how people improve as a whole. But yeah.
The only thing I could say is good luck. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Oh yeah,
Tyrone. This N-word really just said there's too many good blacks in my movies. Again, if you have above a room temperature IQ, you could probably understand what I'm talking about. If not, you probably don't understand too much at all.
I'll admit, a lot of these people missed the point. I do think a lot of these people did miss the point. I'll agree with that.
I want to punch this guy in the face so bad, says Exodius. Got it. Isn't this incel loser supposedly a veteran? Send him to Ukraine so he can get some real problems.
Oh my God.
Well, my 3 kids are going to be really disappointed to hear I'm an incel.
Okay, well, he did.
So I suppose.
Let me first say, Jeremy, so I actually never knew Ryan Kinel used this argument, but Jeremy tends to, when somebody calls him sexist, he says he has a daughter and a wife. And Ryan just brought up that he had 3 kids. I think that was a stupid comment, but let's talk about this one. I can't read the name. I think his name is Billy. Yeah, that was stupid. I think this is it's not the worst comment, but it is the most idiotic comment I've read today. Why bring up the Ukraine stuff? This is practically a death threat right here. This is a death threat. You're wishing somebody is sent to Ukraine. Um, and look, I don't think Ryan should get all these threats. And you've heard me the entire. I believe most of this video is me defending Ryan from these comments, and I've given him the benefit of the doubt. I still think his comment's stupid, but I don't think he deserves the death threats he's gotten. But let's
And
continue.
yeah, I did spend 11 years in the United States Navy. He wants me.
Wait, I do want to. I'm not going to say this sarcastically. I do want to respect him for service. I always like respecting military vets, so I do want to respect him for his service. I actually didn't know. I didn't know about that, but yeah, I used to watch Ryan back like a year ago, and then I started getting annoyed of his content. But hey, I still respect him. I still respect him.
Me to go to Ukraine.
Oh
Thank
wait,
you,
I didn't even say thank you for your service. Let me
Billy.
continue.
Just wait. Oh man, of course it refreshes. Why did this refresh on me? Let's go down. I was just getting to.
Yeah, I don't really want to watch the rest of this. I've gone way too long on this video. But look, Ryan Kinel, I doubt he's watching this, but I'm gonna talk to his subscribers, I guess, because I know some of them are gonna see Ryan Kinel on the title and assume this video is just here to attack him. Look, Ryan Kinel's ignorant. Ryan Kinel's ignorant. He's made stupid comments. He's said stupid things in general, but to me, that still doesn't that doesn't mean he should be deplatformed. I don't think he should be canceled. I think all the death threats he got are stupid. I think all the acts of violent messages he got are stupid. I think that's true, and I've defended him in this video. But I think his comments were stupid. Do I think he's a racist? No, he's not a racist. He's not, but he's ignorant and he's stupid. And let me to the people who made these comments to him. I want to talk to you. I get your anger and I get your frustration. But when you wish death on somebody, especially when it's something like movies, something not that serious, at that point you need to start questioning, what are you doing in life? At that point you got to start questioning, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? What's the motivation? What are you gaining from wanting some guy you will never meet to die? Especially when all they've done is make stupid comments. And look, there were stupid comments, but what I'm saying is when we see stuff like this, when they say something ignorant, don't wish violence upon somebody, don't wish death on somebody, call them out. Debunk the claims they're trying to make and debate them. And I think everyone can agree on that, right? I think even Ryan will agree with that. Just debunk somebody, try debating somebody. But don't call for violence, don't call for death, especially when he didn't really say anything all that bad. I mean, it's stupid, and you clearly can tell that he's ignorant. But as human beings, if you want something to change, you talk it out. You don't just punch somebody. Because look, let's play a scenario. Let's say somebody sees Ryan in public and saw this clip and they punch him. Let's say they beat up Ryan. Do you think that's going to change anything? All that's going to happen is that person who beat up Ryan. Let's say that person that beats up Ryan, all he is he's gonna be happy for like a couple minutes, and then after that, so what? You just beat up somebody. What? And then Ryan, what will happen with Ryan is he's gonna be pissed. Obviously, if somebody beats you up, you're gonna be mad. And so what's gonna happen is you're gonna believe you're not gonna be debunked. You're not gonna be debated. It's literally just you going frustration. He's probably gonna make more videos. He's probably gonna make more of these SJW stupid videos he makes. That's what's going to happen. But when you debate him, let's say you go on a debate and you try to debunk him, even if it's just a tweet debunking him, what will happen is it's two people conversating. And while you may not change his mind and he may not change yours, what's going to happen is at least you two are mature enough to talk it out. And at least you'll both respect each other by actually conversating and by actually talking it out, even if you don't change anyone's mind. And that's what I'm trying to say. But anyways, I'm gonna end off the video. It's gone a little too long, but thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bells and comment down below after the video and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.